All right.
Do you want me to just look straight down or?
Just look at me the whole time.
Yeah.
What's going on, Faded Culture? It's Sergio Barron, and we're back again with another haircut tutorial. Today I got my boy Jaden here on the chair, and I'm gonna be breaking down my step-by-step process on how to do a skin fade with some texture on top. If y'all haven't already, be sure to check out our store at fadedculture.co, where we have t-shirts, straight razors, barber capes, snapbacks, and trucker hats. So feel free to check out that store. And now let's just get right into this tutorial. All right guys, so to start this tutorial, first I'm gonna grab my clipper with no guard. I'm gonna make sure that lever is closed all the way to a true 0, and I'm gonna start my first guideline right here at this tempo peak area. I'm gonna come back straight with that line and kind of just give it a slight drop as I reach the back, and then just make sure we end up in the same spot on the opposite side. All right guys, so now that we've laid down that first guideline, before moving on to the next guideline, you're just gonna wanna make sure that the line is straight from the front of his head and from the back as well. And once you've made sure that it's straight, then you can move on to the next guideline. For the next guideline, all you're gonna do is open the lever on the clipper all the way with no guard still, and then just come up about a finger width in length. Now that that line is laid down, next I'm gonna throw on the number 1 guard, still keeping that lever all the way open on the clipper, and then again, just come up about another finger in width up from the previous guideline. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and throw on the number 2 guard, still with that lever all the way open. And again, I'm gonna just come up about another finger in width from that previous line. But since we are around that area where the head starts to kind of curve right here, what I'm gonna do is just kind of make sure that I'm kind of flaring out with the clipper so that we don't dig in too much into the top. All right guys, now that we're done with that 2 guard lever open, next I'm gonna just throw on that number 3 guard, still with that lever all the way open. And again, just kind of like what we did with the 2, we're gonna come up about another finger width in length, and just making sure that you're still flaring out so that we don't cut too much length off the top. All right guys, now to finish off blending in the side to the top, I'm gonna just go ahead and grab my shears, and then pulling out a section at a time, just cut off any hair that hangs over into the fade. I'm also kind of damping the hair a little bit just to kind of pull out these sections a lot easier. Just pull out a section, pull your fingers out straight, and then whatever hangs out is what you're gonna trim away. We're just gonna come a finger at a time until we reach the front. And then guys, while I'm at it right here with my shears, I'm gonna go ahead and just throw in the texturizing up top. I like to throw in my texturizing while the hair's kind of dry, so I don't need to dampen it right here. And then just starting from the back, working my way up to the front, pulling out a finger width of a section at a time. And all I'm gonna do is kind of point cut through the top just to kind of give that textured finish. Then once I've gone down all through the middle, I'm gonna just go ahead and start again from the back on the right side, and then I'll do the same thing on the left side of his head. All right, so now that we're done setting up the guidelines and we did the texturizing on top, next what I'm gonna do is kind of dampen his hair, apply a matte clay, blow dry with medium heat and a high airflow, just to kind of dry the product into the hair. Now that the product has been dried into the hair, I'm gonna move forward and start blending out our 3 guidelines that we laid down. You should be able to distinguish these 3 guidelines right here. The first one up top, the middle one, and then that bottom one. We're gonna start by blending them out one by one, starting with the top one that you see right here. And for that top one right there, I'm gonna go ahead and throw on the 1.5 clip, and I'm gonna position that lever to that 3/4 spot. And for those who don't know where that 3/4 spot is, it's basically right in between the lever being open all the way and halfway. So you're just gonna find that middle ground right in between those 2 spots, and that's that position that we're gonna use to blend out that top guideline. And now that we blended out that top guideline, next we're gonna move forward and start blending out that middle guideline. For that middle guideline, I'm gonna go ahead and throw on the half clip, and I'm gonna still leave that lever position on that 3/4 spot. But just keep in mind that this guard will still leave a little dark area right above it. But don't worry, don't try to chase it with this guard, because then you will take up the fade too high. So just worry about blending out the initial start of this guideline, and then whatever it leaves right above, we're just gonna come back with a higher guard to finish blending it out. So as y'all can see right there, y'all should be able to distinguish a little dark area right above, but that's the part that I'm talking about that we're just gonna leave for the next guard. So for now, just kind of worry about just taking out the initial start of this line right here. All right guys, so now that we've taken out most of that middle guideline with that half clip, next I'm gonna go ahead and throw on the 1 guard, still leaving that lever on that 3/4 spot, and just finish taking out that middle guideline. All right guys, now that that middle guideline is completely blended out, next I'm gonna move on with taking out this last guideline that y'all see right here. For that one, it does take 4 lever positions for me to blend it out completely. So for that reason, I'm gonna go ahead and only focus on one side at a time. I'm gonna break it down into 3 different sections: the left side, the right side of his head, and then the back side. First, starting on this left side, what I'm gonna do is first starting with the clipper opened a tad bit, probably to like 1/4, and then I open it halfway, and then to 3/4, and then all the way open until that last line is blended out completely. Next, I'm gonna move forward and start blending out the back side. All right, now that our fade is pretty much laid down, next I'm gonna focus on taking out the rest of this bottom of the hair. First, what I'm gonna do is come in with the trimmer upside down, just so that we can leave a bolder guideline right here. And then when I come back and take out the rest of the bottom of the hair with the trimmer, you'll be able to distinguish a little faint line, and that's just gonna serve as another guideline to just let us know how high to come up with our electric shaver.
Can you see? Yeah.
And then next, I'm gonna just come in with my electric shaver to finish shaving out the rest of this bottom of the hair. All right, so now that we're done with the fade up top, next I'm gonna move forward and start cleaning up his facial hair. His facial hair is fairly short already, but I'm gonna still go over it with a #1 guard and then just quickly taper into it from the sideburns, and then just kind of start setting in my hard lines before coming in and straight razoring everything. Now that we're done tapering in the facial hair, next I'm gonna start by edging up his forehead area and the facial hair as well. All right guys, now to start the shaving process, what I'm gonna do is go ahead and grab one of these double-edged razors, and I'm gonna use our very own matte black Faded Culture Turkish razors. Y'all could find them on the website at fadedculture.co if y'all like to purchase one. And also just stay tuned, because if y'all don't like these style of razors, we will be dropping the swing locks for those that prefer those type of razors. But if y'all do get one of these Turkish razors, what I do is just snap these sides off of these double-edged razors and then just slide the razor right here in the front of the razor holder. The reason I like using these Turkish razors more than the swing locks and the other ones is just because of how light they are and how thin the razor holder is right here. It just kind of helps me maneuver through the hair a lot easier. But yeah, if y'all like to check them out, fadedculture.co guys. And then as far as the shaving process goes, I'm gonna go ahead and just apply shaving gel throughout all the areas that I will be shaving. And then just to help preserve the life of the shaving gel, I'm gonna just follow it by spraying some water all over the areas that I applied the gel on, just to keep it from drying out. If y'all don't like enhancements, then y'all don't have to use them. But if y'all do like using them, all I do is mix equal parts of water with hair dye into this portable air gun, and then just lightly spray it on the edges that you want to enhance. And the portable gun is in the description, also with all the tools that we used, and also all these steps in written format, so y'all can follow along that way. All right guys, so there y'all have it. A skin fade, a slight drop in the back with some texture on top. I hope y'all guys enjoyed this tutorial. If y'all did, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Also make sure y'all are subscribed to the channel, and feel free to share this video to anybody that y'all think might find this video beneficial. Also guys, don't forget to check out the rest of the videos that we have on this channel. We have a bunch of tutorials on taper fades, mohawks, high fades, mid fades, low fades. So be sure to check those out. Feel free to check out our store at fadedculture.co. But that's pretty much it guys. I'm gonna go ahead after the video and show y'all the before and the after. But for now guys, again, my name is Sergio Barron. This is Faded Culture, and I'll catch y'all on the next video. Peace.